What can I write off? As a small business, you are able to write off the expenses that you incur when you're developing your business or running your business. Let me give you a few examples of some of the things you can write off as you're running your business. First of all, your startup costs. What did it cost you to start this business? Your registration fees, your licensing fees, if you had to go out and buy software to track your expenses, all of those things that you did to start up the business, those are startup costs. Those are deductible. Mileage. If we're traveling from point A to B for the business, we want to keep track of those miles. Now, you can do mileage or actual vehicle costs, but mileage tends to be the bigger bang for its buck if you track your miles. So get in the habit of tracking the miles using a log, writing it down, or there are apps for that. Okay. So there's mileage. There's uniform and maintenance of said uniform. If your job requires you to wear a certain thing, that's your uniform, and that requirement makes this tax deductible. So if I'm a chef and I have to have a chef coat, I'm going to write off the expense of that chef coat and I have to send it out to the cleaners to get it cleaned. I'm also going to write off that cleaning expense for that chef coat. So let's keep track of the uniform and the maintenance of the uniforms, okay? Professional development. So let's go back to the chef again. So every year I have to go back and get some continuing education. I need to learn, other things that I'm trying to cook for my clients. That's professional development. I can write off the cost of that class, the travel to that class, the books for that class. So I want to keep track of all of those expenses as it relates to my professional development. But I'm a small business, so I have an office in my home. What can I write off there? Well, I'm going to take the size of that home as it relates to the size of my office, and I'm going to be able to write off a fraction of the utilities, the maintenance of the house, the rent or the mortgage that I pay in that house. So there's a vast number of expenses that you can write off as it relates to your office in your home. But make sure there are no toys in there because the IRS didn't play that. It has to be specifically designated as office space, okay? So those are just some of the deductions that you can write off as it relates to your business. This is really just the tip of the iceberg. Some of those areas can get really gray though. So if you have any questions or your friends have any questions, come talk to me. I'm Stephanie Fauntleroy. You can visit me at bakerstaxservice.com because I am your tax and small business development expert.